Hi all, welcome back to Make More Bonsai. John here. Sometimes, pretty often actually, in the world of bonsai, the awesome bonsai hiding in them thar branches is not particularly evident. You might buy some material or somehow end up with something that maybe looks like you might be able to pull together something satisfying, but the more you study the tree, the further a successful bonsai seems to be.
Johnny, what can you make out of this?
This? Well, I could make a cap, or a brooch, a pterodactyl.
This little Itoigawa juniper is an example of a situation just like that. It took quite a bit of time and planning to finally get it to a stage of initial styling, and I mean the very first stages of anything resembling bonsai training. This tree story began about 2 years ago when I received a trio of trees in the mail and unboxed them in this video. Yup, that one right there. I potted it up and let it get established and recover from shipping. That's when the challenge presented itself. The lower part of the tree was, at least to me, not very interesting. But in the upper third of the tree, there was an area that had potential to become an attractive bonsai. So, wasting no time, I proceeded to air layer that section, which was successful. Finally, a year and a half later, it's established and healthy. All of the branches were left alone to maintain enough energy to produce lots of new growth. The last full year was spent making sure all of the young new growth received plenty of light so they would extend and become new branches that will one day be proportional to the height of the tree. Today, we're going to remove all of the large branches that have been left on the juniper to ensure it survived, and create a core structure that will, in a few years, be a very cool, short, thick trunk juniper. To begin, I'm going to create some Jin and Shari with that lowest branch. It's too low and thick to read as an initial branch. I would prefer the focal point of the tree to be that thicker, curved section of the trunk. To make that into a Jin, all of the foliage is removed, and with pliers, I'm going to bend and crush the branch to remove the bark and break the branch and tear away sections of the wood until it's shortened to look reasonably within proportion to the main trunk to represent a dead, older trunk. When starting a bonsai from essentially an untrained and, for the most part, bare minimum of elements that could become something beautiful, there's this element of hope that one day, with a lot of attention and patience, this little thing will become something more than a short shrubby-looking mass of foliage. It's maybe like one feels when starting a sculpture from a blob of clay. One could dream up anything and work it until it becomes that dream, and not even like a big dream. Just a hope that with time and effort you can look upon your work and feel accomplished. This is a creative mindset. You start with the foundation of a basic structure and test and learn from mistakes, correct flaws, and keep moving forward toward a satisfying conclusion. This is sort of what's going on with this tree. Starting from the very beginning with this tree, we have an awesome opportunity to construct a bonsai using its core elements as a guide. Those core elements from bottom of the tree to the top of the tree are the roots, and more broadly, the base of the tree. This area where the tree parts with the soil is very important. It's the foundation of the rest of the tree. It should be the widest part of the base of the trunk, with roots spread evenly around that base if possible. Next is the trunk. This is the main stem or stems of the tree that depart from the base. The trunk is the first example to demonstrate the bonsai aesthetic of taper and the concept of wider equals older. The base of the trunk is the oldest part of the tree. It's been there since it was a seedling. Naturally, that should be the widest part, becoming ever more narrow as it ascends upwards to growth that happened at a later time in the tree's life. This wider equals older concept is carried through the branches. The branches that emerge from the trunk also adhere to that concept. The wider the branch is, the older it is. This leads to primary, secondary, and tertiary branches. The primary part of the branch is the part that departs from the trunk. From this primary branch, secondary branches emerge, and from those comes the third layer, or tertiary branches. The primary part of the branch should be the widest, followed by secondary, which are more narrow, and even more narrow would be the tertiary layer. Branches play an important role in bonsai, specifically branches that own some prominence in the overall design of the tree. There's the main branch, which is kind of a focal point of the design. It isn't always the first branch that emerges from the trunk, but it often is. What is important to consider is the main branch often establishes the flow or direction of the design. Usually, but again, not always, it's the oldest branch and therefore the widest branch that also has the most established secondary and tertiary branches, generally on a bonsai. The second, or support branch, creates a counterbalance to what the main branch establishes. Very often, this counterbalance branch is on the opposite side of the main branch on the tree and higher up on the trunk, so somewhat younger than the main branch, but it still has some established secondary and tertiary branches. The main branch and secondary branch on a bonsai are not always what I just described. These are general definitions and guidelines. Depending on the tree, the main branch, or what serves as the main branch, meaning the thing that establishes the flow or direction of the design, could actually be a dead branch called a jin, like what's being done to the juniper right now. Same concept applies to the second or support branch. Let's keep moving up the trunk. Back branch, or back branches, are super important branches on a bonsai. While the main branch and secondary branch establish a concept within the design, back branches create the three-dimensional depth to support the overall big picture of the bonsai, which is an idealized living image of a large tree, but small. If a back branch is missing, the illusion of a three-dimensional space is compromised. Let's move up through the trunk to the top of the tree, called the apex. Every tree has a point in which the tree actually ends. That endpoint also has a prominent place in bonsai design. The apex offers information about the age of the tree. This is the part of the tree that usually receives the most light, so when a tree reaches a mature height, meaning it's gotten so large that it can't support new growth higher than a certain point due to the limits of its physiology, it begins to spread out at the top. This creates a rounded silhouette for the apex. Younger trees are still reaching upwards, so there will be a clear main trunk higher than the rest of the branches. This creates a more pointed or triangular looking apex. So generally, a rounded apex reads as older and a pointed apex reads as younger. Unless something happened to the top of the tree like a storm breaks it off, leaving behind a dead trunk, also known as a jin. A jin can also be the apex. A jin can also be a representation of what used to be, a trunk that previously existed that was killed off by some outside force, kind of like a plot twist in a story that sends the main characters off in an unpredictable new direction, which is what is being done with this particular juniper. We are leaving behind what used to be and exposing the rest of the tree to more light and build upon the story of what was there previously. Okay, so with all of that in mind, and the very basic starts to all of these prominent bonsai elements, a new story is being created, leaving behind what once was, so the new growth can carry that story further. After removing all that older growth, stripping it down to the trunk to expose the bare wood to create a jin and shari, what's left behind is a new trunk that has new opportunities to be the trunk, main branch, secondary branch, back branch, and ultimately a new apex. Let's switch from head in the clouds artistic dreamer to grounded in reality horticultural practice. An important thing to keep in mind is that we need to preserve some of the foliage to keep the tree healthy. I've left a lot of excess foliage on the tree for that reason. This branch and this branch may never fit into the final design of the tree, but are necessary to keep the tree healthy and encourage flow of nutrients through the vascular system of the tree. Also, this upper area will keep activity flowing toward all of the new immature growth here. That new immature growth is what will become those essential, prominent elements that make up a bonsai. For all of the lofty bonsai dreams to come true, these little chunks of immature growth will need to thrive and grow strong. To successfully pull that off, let's set things up for success by placing the horticulturally necessary parts into places that will offer the best possible advantage for the desired growth to happen. Nothing about this juniper in its current state is ready for any serious styling per se. A good way to describe it is it's a proto-bonsai. It's got all the stuff on it to one day be trained into a bonsai now that all the stuff has been sorted out and identified as parts of a future bonsai. So let's identify what needs to happen to get this little tree out of the prototype stage and into a functioning bonsai design system. The challenge with a tree this small is to create branches that will be proportional to the height of the tree. For that illusion to be believable, the branches will need to be fairly short and also not particularly thick. When a bonsai is pretty small, like this one, that illusion of a large tree but miniature relies on the branches and the masses of foliage to be small and proportional to the trunk. This short and thick trunk presents that opportunity to really explore the process of creating that illusion over the next few growing seasons. Here's an example of a tall tree, Visually, what reads as height is the number of primary branches it has emerging along the trunk. For that many branches, the bonsai will need to be somewhat tall, meaning over 12 inches in height for it to have that many branches spread all over the trunk. For a shorter bonsai, like something under 8 inches high, that many branches on an Itoigawa juniper that would be proportional to the width of the short trunk, it's pretty rare, and not readily available on this material. This is fine. We can achieve the look of a tall tree if we can arrange for 3 to 5 branches to emerge from the trunk that are less than a quarter of the main trunk's diameter. We'll need a main branch, a secondary branch, and a branch that is in the back of the tree, and the remaining branches to make a small apex. If we keep these branches relatively short, the trunk will dominate the space, creating the desired illusion of a large tree. If they're too long, that illusion stops reading as a tall tree. It begins to visually read as a bush or a shrub. So with that understanding in mind, let's proceed. The long, thick branches coming off that main curved trunk have now all been removed or converted to Jin and Shari. Moving forward through spring, all of the tree's energy will be focused on these remaining future branches. Let's apply some wire to spread out the growth that remains on the tree to allow more light into those small proto-branches. We aren't going to wire those proto-branches, however. They're too small and delicate to wire. They need to mature over the next year or so before they can begin to be placed into a position that will determine the design. We're going to wire the leftover growth that remains on the tree to encourage vigorous growth, but we're going to place them out of the way to clear plenty of space for those proto-future branches to occupy. I know, it's a little weird. Like, you kind of want everything to be looking all super bonsai-rific at the end of a session, but it's kind of a necessary step for this tree if we want to take control of the growth and development of the branches. If this were left to simply grow without this intervention of sorts, removing all of the vigorous extended growth, these little pre-branch interior buds would have been completely shaded out, and they would never extend into anything meaningful. Now that the space has been opened up for these immature branches to expand, we're setting this tree up to be a short, compact, intentionally designed, funky little bonsai. For the rest of the year, the juniper will be left to grow and strengthen with the chosen future branches in places that will play an important role in the design. We'll revisit this juniper as it develops and work toward cultivating this proto-bonsai with control and intention, leaving very little to chance. Thanks for watching. I hope you gained some helpful insights from this little video. Maybe like and subscribe and leave a comment below. And possibly check out the book or the t-shirt hat links in the Show More section below. There's even a super thanks option. Special shout out to everyone who hit that heart button. All participation and support really helps energize this little production and helps me dream up new stuff to show you because bonsai stuff is kind of cool, and so are you for helping support this channel.